everybody, till it to the top here. Thank you for clicking this video. Thank you for watching this video. And if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe, okay? Subscribe. Thank you. So guys, I was just sitting down and I'm thinking about so many things, and I said to myself that I have to post this video to educate some people that they are in the US or London and you want to learn a little bit about stock market, how to invest in ETFs and index funds. So I got some couple of two clips that is really educative. So please watch it and learn something about stock market, okay? And also the first video, the guy, when I was in Kumasi and I was talking to Family by Nature, I mentioned that this guy and two children and the wife, family of 4, they retired, I think at the age of 42 or something, so Spain. So he is interviewing people to know if they know about ETFs and index fund, because that's the stock that if you really focus on it, and at least if you are able to contribute $100 or $200 a month and you give yourself 10 years, you can go home and live on $2,000 a month, okay? If you contribute $100 a month, no, not a month, yes, a month, yes, you can get ETFs and index fund. It can be even more, because ETFs and index fund is not just ordinary stock that it's not individually stock that you don't manage them and things like that. So that is in a good way of saving money. If you don't want to do business in Ghana, or if you don't want to invest, go to your bank. If you save at Chase, JP Morgan, Bank of America, or all those, I save at Navy Federal, and I use Navy Federal. I use my Robinhood, M1 Finance. I also use Webull. So, and I learn all this through YouTube. So do yourself a favor and invest in learning these things that I'm talking about: index fund, ETFs, and Fortune 500, which is I think is the same. I did not know anything about this until I started hearing about it, and I started watching YouTube videos about it, and I downloaded the Robinhood app, and then I also download all these 3 apps plus my bank, the Navy Federal. So think about it and see if you can educate yourself about what I'm talking about. But let it start from here. Listen to this video, these guys, and see what you can learn from it. Because the thing is, we are not building a house in Ghana and let the house sit there, and maybe you're giving yourself 5 years or whatever years you're giving yourself. The more money you put in your index fund and ETFs, you know, and you give us yourself, because when you set it up and you say you want to do it by 5 years, this is the amount of money that you want to receive monthly. Then you have to put in more money, and your dividends will be piling up for you to use that money and live on it. So check it out, watch this video and see what you can do, because learning nothing and sitting without knowing anything, now you are, a day is counting. I don't even know. And mera kwa na ekwo usua bibia eba boa usua bibi ne na ne anim hwio ye den kakra saa na ye akoyenim entina busua. Time here I just want to bring myself all the way down. I've learned a lot. I've read so many short books, things that can help me, because you need your money to work for you. What you say? You don't make money and then just put the money in a bank, and the bank is using your money to trade, also giving it as a loan to other people, and then they give you like how many percent? Not even 2% on interest rate. You see that it give you 10 cents and whatever. No, learn something. Learn something. YouTube is free. It's university. Learn something. It will help you to grow your money. What you say? I'm not a rich woman, so every money penny that I get, and I ask myself, what can that money do for me? I need to double that money. So, okay, Tilly here. I love you all, and I want everybody to be the best of themselves. That's why I keep on coming back to you guys with the little here, little. I don't know anything. I learn, and I'm trying to share. So thank you. Subscribe, like this video for me. Okay? Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
That counts.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Straight up. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Well, that's a good question, actually. So basically, a bunch of stocks are bunched up together, and basically they have index is basically one combined unit for a bunch of stocks, and that's what's tracking them. So it's tracking. Well, it's basically a collective of stocks. I mean, I'm seeing the same thing again and again, but that's what it is.
No. I don't work in accounting. I did not say that. That's a shame.
No.
Come on, Dill.
Listen, I took
Don't let me
personal
down.
finance, but I forgot. Like,
Don't
I
let me
remember a
down.
lot, but the index fund part, I don't even know we talked about that.
You might have been absent on that day.
You
Might have been absent on that day.
That's the
I was
yeah.
absent a few days, yeah.
It's like a composite of multiple stock funds in one big bundle kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fund that is supposed to track the broader market or some type of index, let's say, and it's intended to be relatively cheap. It maybe costs a few basis points relative to mutual funds, which cost 40, 50 bips in expense ratio. Okay, a Roth IRA, that means that it is taxed at first. I believe, yeah, because traditional, the money goes in pre-tax. So it grows tax-free. When you sell it, there's no capital gains tax.
So the way I understand it is it's an account that you invest in and then you get out when you retire tax-free.
What is the first thing that you think of when you think of retirement?
Getting loads of money at once.
Getting loads of money.
Chilling, like chillaxing, don't need to work.
Do I have enough?
Not enough. Not enough money. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Well, I think to have some kind of cash flow is coming on from my saving accounts, coming on monthly basis, and hopefully I would have a capital quite sufficient and make something that is cash flow wise that I can pick up whenever I need it.
If you were going to retire early, how much money do you think you would need?
Well, I would say about 2.5 million.
I think I'm already ready. I have enough.
Nice.
I don't need much.
Well, so you must really love your job. Is that why you're still working?
No, that's why I want to retire now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a twofold answer to that. At least a couple of $1 million in any form of investment or cash, and at least one property.
Never work again. I don't need much money for that. I'm, I think 1 million.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay.
Not really, not much.
Yeah.
2.5 million, I think.
Yeah, it depends on where you live and how much you want to spend in retirement. So there's the 4% rule, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. So whatever, if you have, let's say, $1 million in retirement, you're expected to be able to withdraw 4% or 40 grand per year. And then your principal will, ideally, it doesn't go down, it'll only go up from there. So I don't know, I'm targeting like 100 grand in retirement, so divide by 4%, 2.5 mil for me. Yes, next to Spain.
Okay, I have to ask you a question, another question. This isn't one of the questions we were asking people, but what do you do for a living? Do you work in finance?
I work at a hedge fund.
Okay, so we have been walking around Wall Street asking people random questions about finances. We approached you and we asked you if you want to interview with us, and you told us that you actually follow our channel.
Yes.
So this is appropriate because this is like your final test, right? If you are a true follower, you can answer all these questions, right?
Okay.
All right. Let's see how this goes.
Two, which is stock market investing. 80% of my stock market investing portfolio consists of index funds and ETFs. About 20% consists of individual stocks. Now, the only way I invest in individual stocks is I have to understand the industry. I'm not going to invest in things I don't understand, right? Plus, I also understand as an individual stock picker, I'm not going to perform better than an ETF or an index fund. Statistics tell me that, and it's true. So I don't want to have 80% of my money going into a stock portfolio that I'm picking myself. Why? Because when times get tough, I'm more likely to want to sell because of emotions. You know, I get scared, I get fear, and then I want to sell. So I don't want to be the expert and be picking stocks on my own, because more times than not, I'm not going to outperform ETFs or index funds. So 80% are in ETFs and index funds. How did I get started? Well, I started at 30 years old, taking a little bit of money and investing that money into ETFs and index funds. And over the last 20 years, it's turned into a lot of money, just because I decided to be consistent and not be the expert. Because I get a lot of comments from you guys, hey man, what stocks should I be investing in? And I always tell them the same thing, guys, I'm not a stock picker. I don't invest in a lot of money in individual stocks. I invest in passive investments like ETFs and index funds. Why? Because the performance is better. And I don't have to be the expert, right? And so that's the advice I give you. You know, think about what I said earlier, that 80-20 rule. 80% of your money should be going in ETFs and index funds. 20%, if you just gotta do individual stocks, take 20% of your money and you try to be the expert. And see which one, over a long period of time, has a better performance. I would probably go with the ETFs and the index funds. Over a 10-year period, I just don't believe myself or most of us will not be able to outperform on a 10-year time frame an ETF or index fund out there picking individual stocks ourselves. Statistics are against us on that one, guys. Now, you're more than welcome to try it, but I don't think it'll be that successful. If you don't have a brokerage account set up, set one up and start buying ETFs and or index funds. But you got to think about it for the long term. You got to think about it for 10 to 20 years.